worship you. Holy Spirit of God, we worship you. Spirit of God, you're one with the Father and Son. We worship you, we worship you, we worship you.
2 King chapter 4, I only take the event of the resurrection. But here, of course, we should think about that woman when she had no child, and then they prayed and she got a child and the child died. But she did not cry. She immediately put the child on the cot and closed the room and went straight running to Elisha. Why? Why she went straight to Elisha? I want one word answer. Why? Louder. She believed. She believed in what? In resurrection. Come, this is the correct point. She believed in resurrection. And Elisha first sent his man, his assistant with a stick and all, but he did not agree. No. I don't want anybody. I want you. Verse 30. For 30. But the boy's mother cried out, as the Lord lives, and as you yourself live, I will not release you. I will not release you. You must come. You should do it. So he started. He started to go back with her. Continue. Please read from verse 31. Meanwhile, Gehazi had gone on ahead and had laid the staff upon the boy, but there was no sound or sign or life. He returned to meet Elisha and informed him that the boy had not awakened. So it's more established the child is dead. When Elisha reached the house, he found the boy lying dead. He went in, closed the door on them both, and prayed to the Lord. Then he lay upon the child on the bed, placing his mouth upon the child's mouth, his eyes upon the eyes, and his hands upon the hands. As Elisha stretched himself over the child, the body became warm. He arose, paced up and down the room, and then once more lay down upon the boy, who now sneezed 7 times and opened his eyes. Resurrection. Elisha summoned Gehazi and said, call the Shunammite. She came at his call, and Elisha said to her, take your son. This is almost a mixture of what happened in the house of Jairus and in the woman and the son of that woman. What happened in Jesus? Maybe Jairus, as a man who was an expert, a thorough scholar of Old Testament, had all these things in his mind. Yes, God is resurrection. Even Abraham believed when the Lord said, I want your son to be offered as a holocaust. So what Abraham believed? Abraham believed, yes, my God is the creator of heaven and earth. Even if I offer my son as a holocaust, my God can give him resurrection. He believed. Now again, another case in the same book, 2 Kings chapter 13. It's very interesting, chapter 13. Chapter 13, verse 20-22. Elisha died and was buried. At that time, bands of Moabites used to raid the land each year. Once some people were burying a man, when suddenly they spied such a raiding band. So they cast the dead man into the grave of Elisha, and everyone went off. See? But when the man came in contact with the bones of Elisha, he came back to life and rose to his feet. Hallelujah. Resurrection. See? I was remembering this just last month. I was in Poland at the tomb of Faustina, where her bones were kept. So one bone is taken out and kept in front so that we can touch this. So I just remembered this. Oh Lord, now it's a chance of some resurrection. So with this is the basis of all these devotions. Why we are touching the bones of Saint Faustina? It's because, yes, the saintly, this resurrection power flows. In that place, Krakow, you might have seen the film Schindler's List. Yeah, it is that place where millions of Jews were burnt alive. And that place is now a stream of merciful love of Jesus. Okay, so these two interesting case of Second King, and we can see also many other events which is coinciding with the power of resurrection in the Old Testament. Now we saw already in the Gospel. Let's see in Acts of Apostle, chapter 9, where Peter, I know, you know all these things, but we are just linking all these things to a renewed conviction to apply this in our life, to experience the resurrection today. Please read chapter 9, verse 37 onwards, but it's better we read only the main point. Verse 39. So Peter got up and went with them. When he arrived, they took him to the room upstairs, where all the widows came to him weeping and showing him the tunics of the clothes of Dorcas had made while she was with them. Peter sent them all out and knelt down and prayed. Then he turned to her body and said, Tabitha, rise up. She opened her eyes, saw Peter, and sat up. Resurrection. So this power of resurrection, why this power of resurrection was working before the resurrection of Christ? Correct. Alpha and Omega. Life and resurrection. What is the meaning, I am the life and resurrection? That means it was me who brought the life in this humanity, the beginning. The first man was made by me. Beginning. Question. So, when God made the first man, was there power of resurrection with him? Yes. Only this corner I heard some answer. Yes, you may be a scientific calculator, Scientific calculator take little time for the answer. Yes, it should process. Is it clear now? Is it clear? When in the alpha point there was omega. In the beginning was life, and also resurrection was there. And that is why the salvation plan was made at the beginning. A beautiful text from the Catechism. I hope you all should need, all those charismatic prayer group leaders should have the Catechism and Bible together. You should work. That's another conviction you need. 359. Yes. And slowly you should by heart the numbers and passages so that you can quote. You don't have to speak from your own wisdom. We should not apply our wisdom for interpretation or teaching. No. All teaching should be from the Father. Even Jesus himself said, what I am teaching is not mine. Not mine. So don't try to teach others from your intelligence, but teach from this great wisdom of God. 359. St. Paul tells us that, I'll read slowly, you just catch up, because those, I don't think you might have brought it, but you take the reference, 359. You must read and read and read again. St. Paul tells us that the human race takes its origin from two men, Adam and Christ. The first man, Adam, he says, became a living soul, and the last Adam, a life-giving spirit. What is the difference? What was the first Adam? A living soul. Living soul. And what was the second Adam? Life-giving spirit. It's a great difference. The first Adam was made by the last Adam. Please write down. The first Adam was made by the last Adam. That's it. From whom he also received his soul to give him life. From this. Who is the last Adam? Christ. Why the last Adam made the first Adam? Yes, it's coming. The second Adam stamped his image on the first Adam when he created him. The second Adam stamped his image on the first Adam when he created him. That is why he took on himself the role and the name of the first Adam, in order that what he created should not be lost. See, the first Adam when he created him. That's why he took on himself the role and the name of the first Adam, in order that he might not lose what he had made in his own image. The first Adam, the last Adam. The first had beginning, the last knows no end. The last knows no end. So don't think whenever you say last, the last has no end. The last has no end. Gabriel said to Mary, for his kingdom there will be no end. When I left my engineering profession and took up the work, some people said, Thomas, these are all movement, Charismatic is a movement. Like freedom movement, sometime there was a lot of tufan, then it ended. So like that, charismatic is a movement. Sometime people will be around you, then it will all die away. Then I said only one word. There will be no end for this kingdom. So what is the only job which will never end? That is God's work. Evangelization. So don't worry. You can evangelize without end. For his kingdom there is no end. Lot of work. The last Adam is indeed the first. as he himself said, I am the last, I am the first and the last. I am the Alpha and Omega. So, when we say, when Jesus said, I am the life and resurrection, this is one. Life and resurrection is one. I am. I am the life and resurrection. So this, what I want to bring to you is, this life and resurrection was existing throughout from the beginning. It was existing. This power of resurrection. But this power of resurrection have to be transferred into the humanity while they are living. How? Now, okay, now many of you may have a question. Yes, brother, we have heard enough of you, but these are all the people who died, but we are living. Yes. So what is our situation? Now come to Luke chapter 15, the famous parable of prodigal son. I would say this is almost parallel to John 11 of Lazarus. The prodigal son, the spiritual diagram if you draw, it is same like Lazarus, spiritual diagram. If we know the story, okay, I am not going to read all that thing. He was in the Father's house with all his joy and glory. But he felt, this is not good. It's not enough for me. I should go out. I should go to other countries. I should go to London. I should go to Paris, New York, and enjoy my life. And he said, give me all that. It's my right. I want to go. His father might have told many times, no, this is not a good planning, my son. It's not. You have everything here. No. I want to go. I want the freedom. I must go. I must enjoy. All right. He has gone. Now we can see a beautiful two extremes. I mean, extremes are not beautiful, the second extreme, but this recognition, there are two extremes. One is the father's house, he is going, and where he reached? In the pig's house. Please understand this. Father's house and the pig's house. There he is thinking. When he reached the pig's house, what was happening for him? Stinking. Same Lazarus effect. Stinking. And it's very important. Now you read verse 17, what's it? What is written 17? Chapter 15, verse 17. Verse 17 says, coming to his senses. When he started stinking, he came to sense. He came to sense, But how this stinking man can have a sense? He came to sense. It's very important. What is that working? He came to sense. He got some enlightenment. He got some illumination. Something is pulling him towards the Father's house. What is that power? That is the power of resurrection. But it's not yet applied. He's pulling, but now he has to cooperate with this power. He has to cooperate. If he still says, no, this pig's house is good for me. All right, then he will lie there. Father's house, pig's house. But even if we are in the pig's house, Father's power is available to us. It's pulling us, a pull. So that pull, that spiritual power worked in his conscience. He came to sense. He came to sense. This is a big point now. He came to sense. So even if resurrection power is available to us, what is needed? We must come to sense. We must understand, yes. It's again another subject, conscience, that I will take you later. What is the working of our conscience? It's very much, he came to sense. Now you can see this, both the words here. Coming to senses, he thought, how many of my father's hired workers have more than enough food to eat? More than enough. This is another expression of the resurrection. More than enough. More than enough. Please note it. More than enough. You can see Jesus moved with pity and he said, all the 5,000 you sit. And he prayed. The resurrection power came and the food started. Food started becoming more than enough. Why? There were 12 baskets full extra. More than enough. He could have said, all right, only enough is enough, only you give only what is required. That is not the attitude of God. God's attitude is, yes, shout out, more than enough. Life, I have come that you may have life more than enough. More than enough. See, so this 12 baskets full, all the 12 apostles had to carry. And they were gone to take rest, Jesus said one day. That is interesting. One day my father, he knows Bible very well. He said, Thomas, this is too much. I warn you, you must take rest, otherwise you will become sick. You should at least have one day rest. Even Jesus said to the disciples, let us go and take rest. So I said, he cannot have any mistake, my father. So he even wrote the reference and all. Then I read that. Okay. It was in Mangalore. Some of you know that Fatima retreat. And I said, now after the retreat, I will take one day rest. Don't tell anybody I am there. And because my father said, you must take rest. I said, I must obey. One day, I told, we will not declare our program. One day, we will take rest. So, after a long time, I slept without the alarm. Without the alarm, I slept. But 6 o'clock, somebody came and knocked. I said, what is this? They said, sir, nobody knows, only I know that you are here. This is a person suffering with cancer. So I thought it is good that you pray for this person. Nobody knows. See, my rest day, more than enough. And terrible, the whole day, one after another, right after evening, people were coming. More than enough. So Jesus took the disciples, he went to the other side of the lake so that they take some rest. When they went there, more than enough. So many people. And he was moved with compassion. And he said, he started preaching, but when the evening came, he again felt compassion. He said, we should not leave them like this. Then he looked at the apostles, though their faces are little round, said, we don't have any food to give to these people. You send them, let them go home and eat. No. You give them food. What? We? With 5,000 people, we should give food? We don't have any food. All right, tell them to sit. And he made food, okay. Then I am seeing this rest, the rest of the disciples, that they had to serve for 5,000 people on this rest day. Not finished. Ridiculous. That is exciting. After everybody eat, he said, no, there are so many pieces are left out. You go and pick them up. Then they found exactly 12 baskets. So they had enough, more than enough. They carried everything. So maybe it is to be understood little humorously, but we should never forget why God created a miracle and there was 12 baskets extra. This is the nature of God. He gives more than enough. Yes. This more than enough is the life and resurrection. When Jesus said, I have come that you may have life and its fullness. This has to be understood in a spiritual power. So this is a software. This is the specification of the software called resurrection, which has in itself more than enough. So this resurrected power is now pulling this man who was stinking in the house of the pigs. And he felt, in my house, in my Father's house, even the servants have more than enough. Then, now please read, please look through your eyes and read what is written next. Then it is written in my Bible, why should I die here? See, dying. Please read. But here I am dying. But here I am dying from hunger. This is the death. Maybe all of us may have some problems, but the problem is we are not coming into sense. The moment you say, why should I die here? I should go to my... And that is the next resurrection. What is the next sentence? So, I will arise and go to my Father's house. I will get up. I will arise. That is resurrection. See, I tell you, it's amazing. God has, it's very simple. In your house, there is electric power. All right? But when you came home, all the switches are off, there is darkness. But you know, what do you know? You know a simple belief. You have a simple faith. What is that? There is power. There is power.